What would you do if the person you loved most turned into your greatest tormentor? In today's story, the protagonist's choice in the face of unimaginable abuse is a masterclass in self-preservation. My name is Liam, I'm 29, and for 8 years, my relationship with my soon-to-be ex-wife, Chloe, was what I would describe as nearly perfect. We had the occasional small argument, but nothing that ever felt significant or threatening to what we had built. We were happy. That all came to a screeching halt 13 months ago, right after she got pregnant. It wasn't a surprise. We had been actively trying for a baby, eagerly anticipating the next chapter of our lives together. I honestly don't know what went wrong, but around the 4-month mark of her pregnancy, Chloe made a complete 180-degree switch. The kind, caring, and sweet woman I had married vanished, and in her place stood a total tyrant. I know that's a terrible way to speak about someone, but it's the only way to accurately describe the change. I am being completely honest when I say my very breathing became an issue for her. The list of grievances was endless and irrational. She'd wake me up at 2 or 3 in the morning, demanding I drive 40 minutes to get her a specific ice cream she was craving, only to become verbally abusive when I refused. One time, she went on an absolute tirade because she wanted Chick-fil-A on a Sunday, and the restaurant was closed. I was a useless husband. I was everything under the sun. The rules were impossible to follow. I wasn't allowed to sleep in the same bed as her, but then I'd be met with fury in the morning for not sleeping in the same bed. If I cleaned the house, it was too loud. If I didn't clean, I was lazy. I would cook something she specifically requested, only for her to decide she didn't want it anymore. I endured everything, every insult, all the verbal abuse. I bore it all. I never once raised my voice at her during this entire nightmarish period. I pleaded with her to get help, to talk to a doctor, a therapist, even her own mother, but she flatly refused. My suggestions only made things worse, because now, in her eyes, I was calling her crazy. By refusing help then, Chloe didn't realize she was severing the last thread of the man who was trying desperately to save their family. It was a choice that would seal her fate months later. I tried to bring up her mood swings with her doctor during one appointment, and the hell I was put through for that entire week just wasn't worth it. When I spoke to her mother, Chloe would become saccharine sweet, masterfully making it seem like I was the unhinged one. The moment her mother left, it was back to hell for me. As one commenter later astutely pointed out, the fact that she only abused me behind closed doors and acted sweet whenever anyone else was around suggests she knew exactly what she was doing. Every time she hurt me, it felt like a conscious choice on her part. Even when I had camera footage of her tirades, she'd twist it, claiming it was out of context, painting me as the monster for not doing more or doing enough. She expertly crafted a narrative where her anger was always a justified response to something I had done. My fault. My fault she couldn't open a can of peaches while I was asleep at 4 a.m., which earned me the can thrown against my chest to wake me up. 4 months ago, she gave birth. It wasn't an easy birth, but I held on to a sliver of hope that things might return to normal. That hope was obliterated when the postpartum depression kicked in full force. Again, I tried to help. I truly did. I researched. I found suggestions. I even started talking to a therapist on my own to find better ways to support her. But everything I did just made things worse. In her mind, I was against her in everything, accusing her of being a shit wife and a bad mother, even though those words never once left my mouth. Everything finally blew up when she became actively, physically violent. The final straw happened one afternoon. I was in the nursery changing our son's diaper when Chloe started screaming for her coffee. She felt I was taking too long. As I walked out of the room to finally bring it to her, she smashed the hot coffee cup against the side of my head. The shattering of the ceramic was followed by a searing, shocking pain across my temple and down my cheek. This was the breaking point. The abuse had finally shattered my profound capacity for patience, revealing the core truth that even the deepest love cannot survive in the absence of safety and respect. For the first time in 8 years, I raised my voice at her. I screamed at her that we were done, that she needed to pack her things and get the hell out of my house. She went to her parents' house. She tried to take our son, but I refused to allow it. When she threatened to call the police, I just pointed to the hallway camera and told her she was welcome to try, as it had recorded the entire assault. A week later, I was served with divorce papers. I had wanted to file myself but was so consumed with work and caring for our newborn that I hadn't had the time. Then, 3 weeks ago, I came home from work to find my in-laws waiting for me. It turns out that after Chloe started being just as abusive to them as she had been to me, they finally believed me. They had given her an ultimatum: see a therapist, or get out. It's a bitter pill to swallow. A detail a commenter perfectly captured by asking, "You and your son were not worth her getting help over, but her parents are?" They handed me a letter from Chloe before they left. In it, she was profoundly sorry for how she had treated me for all those months. She wrote that she didn't know why she did it and had no excuse, but that after seeing a therapist and a psychiatrist, she was now on medication and was feeling better. She also informed me that she had stopped the divorce proceedings and wanted to give our marriage another try. I read her words, her admission of guilt, her apology, and I felt nothing, no flicker of reconciliation. I didn't respond to her. Instead, I called my lawyer and told her to move forward with the divorce I wanted. I gave my lawyer Chloe's letter, a document full of detailed admissions to her verbal and psychological abuse. It was no longer just my word against hers. This letter, combined with the video of her breaking the coffee cup on my head and the hospital records for the stitches and burns, became the cornerstone of my case. I have more than enough evidence, a solid prenup that protects my assets and the house, and I am going for full custody of my son. My lawyer is confident, seeing no reason a judge would rule against me. Now, people are telling me I'm the asshole. They say that since she's finally getting the help she needs, I should forgive her and give her another chance for the sake of our family, that if I truly loved her, I would forgive what she did when she wasn't in her right mind. They tell me I'm a monster because I have no idea what she went through. But my question is this: why didn't she accept the help when I was the one offering it? I did everything humanly possible to support her, and she refused, twisting my concern into an attack and making me out to be an evil person. Nothing I did was ever right or good enough. This story teaches a difficult lesson. While we must have compassion for those with mental health struggles, we are not obligated to sacrifice our own safety and well-being. Sometimes, the only path to true healing for everyone involved is to walk away. What would you do in my shoes? Could you forgive and try to rebuild after that level of abuse? Or is some damage simply unforgivable?